I'm going to the prayer room, said Peter. Want to come? In a little while. You go ahead. He stood up and walked without hesitation towards Heathrow's chapel. It was the one place in Heathrow, Gatwick, Edinburgh, Dublin and Manchester airports that he knew how to find without any bother. It was always the ugliest, dowdiest room in the entire complex, a far cry from the glittery hives of commerce. But there was soul in it. Having found it again, he perused the timetable posted on the door, in case he'd arrived just in time for a rare communion. But the next one wasn't scheduled till Thursday afternoon at 3, by which time he would be an unimaginable distance away from here, and Beatrice would have started her long months of sleeping alone with their cat Joshua. He pushed the door open gently. The 3 Muslims kneeling inside didn't acknowledge him as he walked in. They were facing a piece of paper attached to the wall, a computer-printed pictogram of a large arrow, like a traffic sign. It was pointing to Mecca. The Muslims bowed, thrusting their rumps in the air, and kissed the fabric of the brightly coloured mats provided. They were immaculately dressed men, with expensive watches and bespoke suits. Their polished patent leather shoes had been tossed aside. The balls of their stockinged feet squirmed with the enthusiasm of their obeisance. Peter cast a quick glance behind the curtain that divided the room down the middle. As he'd suspected, there was a woman there, another Muslim, shrouded in grey, performing the same mute ritual. She had a child with her, a miraculously well-behaved little boy, dressed like little Lord Faber. He was sitting near his mother's feet, ignoring her prostrations, perusing a comic. Spider-Man. Peter walked over to the cabinet where the holy books and pamphlets were kept. The Bible, a Gideon edition, a separate New Testament and Psalms, a Quran, a nondescript book in Indonesian that was probably another New Testament. Stacked on a lower shelf, next to the Watchtower and the Salvation Army newspapers, was an optimistically large pile of leaflets. The logos looked familiar, so he bent down to identify them. They were from a very large American evangelical sect, whose overtures to USIC for this same mission that Peter was going on had been unsuccessful. Why him and not someone from a church with loads of money and political clout? He still wasn't sure. He opened one of the leaflets, immediately saw the usual stuff about the numerological significance of 666, barcodes and the Whore of Babylon. Maybe USIC distrusted fanatics. Or maybe the screening personnel simply liked his space. He opened the visitor's book and leafed through its ledger-sized pages, reading the comments scribbled one beneath the other by travellers from all over the world. They didn't disappoint him. They never did. Today's entries alone filled 3 pages. Some were in Chinese characters or Arabic script, but most were in English, halting or otherwise. The Lord was here, poured forth in this welter of biro ink and felt-tip pen. It always struck him, whenever he was in an airport, that the entire vast multi-storey complex pretended to be a playground of secular delights, a gleaming little galaxy of consumerism in which religious faith simply did not exist. Every shop, every billboard, every inch of the building, right down to the rivets and the toilet plug holes, radiated the presumption that no one had any need for God here. The crowds that queued for snacks and knickknacks, the constant stream of passengers recorded by the closed-circuit TVs, were a wondrous proof of the sheer variety of human specimens, except that they were presumed to be identically faithless inside, duty-free in every sense of that word. And yet, these hordes of bargain hunters, honeymooners, sunbathers, business executives preoccupied with their deals, fashionistas haggling for their upgrades, no one would guess how many of them ducked into this little room and wrote heartfelt messages to the Almighty and to their fellow believers. Dear God, please take all the bad parts out of the world. Jonathan, a child guest. Yuko Oyama, Yoyo, Japan. I pray for the children of illness and peace of planet, and I pray for finding a good partner. Where is the cross of Christ, our risen Lord? Wake up! Dear God, I have sinned and fallen short every day, and I am so tired of my sinning and short falling. Please give me the courage to stand up to the people I need to stand up to, and not wimp out. I know you love me. I just get scared in social situations, and this thing in Canada is going to be stressful, so I'm afraid I will let you and me down again. Please give me the strength to just say it this time. Scott. Jill, England. Please pray for my late mother's soul to rest peacefully, and pray for my family who are not united and hate each other. Allah is the best. God rules. The next entry was indecipherably crossed out. A nasty, intolerant rebuttal of the Muslim message above, most likely, deleted by another Muslim or by the caretaker of the prayer room. Coralie Sidebottom, Slough, Berks. Thanks for God's wonderful creation. Pat and Ray Murchiston, Langton, Kent. For our dear son, Dave, killed in a car crash yesterday. Forever in our hearts. Thorne, Frederick, County Armagh, Ireland. I pray for the healing of the planet and the awakening of all peoples on it. A mother. My heart is broken as my son has not spoken to me since my remarriage 7 years ago. Please pray for reconciliation. Awful smell of cheap air freshener. You can do better than this. Moira Venga, South Africa. God is in control. Charlotte Hogg, Birmingham. Please pray that my beloved daughter and grandson will be able to accept my illness, and pray for everyone in distress. Michael Lupin, Hummock Cottages, Chiswick. Some other smell than antiseptic? Jamie Shapcott, 27 Pinley Grove, Yeovil, Somerset. Please, can my BA plane to Newcastle not crash? Thank you. Marijn Tegelaars, London/Belgium. My dearest friend G, that she may find the courage to be who she is. Victoria Sound, Tamworth, Staps. Nice decor, but the lights keep going on and off. Lucy, Lossiemouth. Bring my man back safely. He closed the book. His hands were trembling. He knew that there was quite a decent chance that he would die in the next 48 hours, and that even if he survived the journey, he would never return. This was his Gethsemane moment. He clenched his eyes shut and prayed to God to tell him what he wanted him to do, whether it would serve his purpose better if he grabbed Beatrice by the hand and ran with her to the exit and up the car park and drove straight back home before Joshua even registered that he was gone. By way of answer, God let him listen to the hysterical babble of his own inner voice, let it echo in the vault of his skull. Then, behind him, he heard a jingle of loose change as one of the Muslims jumped up to retrieve his shoes. Peter turned round. The Muslim man nodded courteously at him on his way out. The woman behind the curtain was touching up her lipstick, crimping her eyelashes with her little finger, tucking stray hairs inside the edges of her hijab. The arrow on the wall fluttered slightly as the man swung open the door. Peter's hands had ceased trembling. He had been granted perspective. This was not Gethsemane. He wasn't headed for Golgotha. He was embarking on a great adventure. He'd been chosen out of thousands to pursue the most important missionary calling since the apostles had ventured forth to conquer Rome with the power of love. And he was going to do his